you seen the moon recently? Like a new moon right now, maybe. When was the last?
The blue moon will be at the end.
I just can't
The
remember
red one just
when the last full moon was.
November. So yeah, there's 2 this month. We already had 1. So yeah, 20 days. So it's at 27%.
Oh, it is.
Waning.
So we should be able to see it in the sky then.
Just a little bit.
Is the new moon over with already? Or is it gone down to the new moon? It's waning.
It says it's waning crescent.
Okay, so it's just a teeny little sliver. Making my brain inflame. Doesn't hurt, but it causes pain. How's that go? You're making my brain inflame. It doesn't hurt, but it causes pain. Got this feeling I'm getting drained by you, hollowing out. There's nothing I can do now. I tried to help, but you didn't notice. You just thought that I had gone insane. I would have laughed, but I cried for you, hollowing out. There's nothing I can do when you want to hollow out. Ain't nothing anyone can do about it. You got washed up in a horrible place, and we could barely recognize your face, and you're so lost that it doesn't even matter anymore. Hollowing out. That's what we'll expect to see. get the best of you. Gotta forget how that song goes. What's going on, man? Icky, icy mix, icy mix. I see mixed. I see one mixed up world we got right here. I love you. Do 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 do. What's up with you, man? I was gonna try to play some guitar, but I'm kind of feeling sort of rusty. After all the jacks are in their boxes and the clowns have all gone to bed, you can hear happiness staggering on down the street. Afoot, a prince, a dressed in a red. I can't even play that shit right now. And the wind whispers, Mary, Mary. Where's that go? A broom is drearily sweeping up the broken pieces of yesterday's life. Somewhere a king or a queen is weeping, that's right. And somewhere a king has no wife. And the wind, it cries, Mary. The traffic lights are turning blue tomorrow and shine on emptiness down on my bed. The tiny island sags downstream, 'cause the life they live there is dead. And the wind screams, Mary. Oh, will that wind ever remember all the names it has blown in the past? With its crushed old age and its wisdom, it whispers, no, this will be the last. It's too hard. Everything is just landing on the wrong spot. All my rhythm's all wonky. Got that wonky rhythm. I'm living in a vivid travesty. I'm livid. I'm living in a vivid travesty. Watching this shit collapse after me. Watching all the bridges collapse. Watching all the bridges collapse after me. I'm livid. I'm living in a vivid travesty. Watching all the bridges collapse after me. With my heels of fire, just lighting that shit up everywhere I go. Just burning shit down. That's right. Burning that shit down. Because when you rinse the grain the way I do, man, it causes friction, which causes flames. Set that place all ablaze. Burn that fucking Babylon system right to the ground. Fucking Babylon. Motherfucking Babylon. I'm a rebel. I'm a soul rebel. I'm a capturer. I'm a capturer. I'm a rebel. Soul rebel. I'm a capturer. Soul adventurer. See the morning sun on your side. If you're not living good, I beg you travel wide, travel wide. I said I'm a living man. I said I'm a living man and I've got work to do. If you're not happy, children, you must be blue. You must be blue. People say that I'm a rebel. So, a rebel. I'm a capturer. So, a soul adventurer. See the morning sun. See the morning sun on your side. If you're not living good, I beg you travel wide, travel wide. I said I'm a living man. I said I'm a living man and I've got work to do. And if you're not living good, if you're not happy, children, then you must be blue. You must be blue. I am a rebel. If you're not living good, I beg you travel wide, travel wide. Said I'm a living man. Said I'm a living man and I've got work to do. If you're not living good, I beg you travel wide, travel wide. then you must be blue. You must be blue. What's up, Titus? Who wrote that tired sea song? Set off this peaceful shore. You think you've heard this one before. Calling my reservation. So long and thanks, my friend. I guess I'll try my luck again. I guess I'll try my luck again. Well, the can't play tonight. The danger on the rocks has surely passed. Still, I remain tied to the mast. Could it be that I have found a home at last? Home at last. Ah, shit. Wonder what it takes to take me down. I'm taking everything I found. Wonder why my face is still in place while my head's been spinning around. Well, it feels like yesterday I was feeling wet. Well, it feels like it could be any day. The feeling is well on its way. Wonder why I chase what is dragging me away. Well, I guess it's just the foolish part I have to play. Wonder why I'm facing so much hatred from this place that is claiming to be sacred while they're lying to my face. I wonder why my face is still in place, while my head has just been spinning around. Well, it feels like yesterday I was feeling well. Well, it feels like it could be any day. The feeling is well on its way. I said the feeling is well on its way. Wonder what I'm chasing, what is dragging me away. Guess it's just a foolish part that I have to play. Wonder why my face is still in place, while my head has been spinning around. That's it, I think. Close. Every minute of the day, there's another sucker born, and no one is infallible. They have succumbed to the dumb down, and the damage is done when you succumb to the dumb down. The damage is done when you succumb to the dumb down. And your first mistake, thinking God has forsaken you when you have forsaken Him. And that's when Satan wins. It's a sin. And Satan rhymes with hating, and he's baiting that hook, always trying to reel you in, sitting there waiting for you to look, and then you see him grin. Satan rhymes with hating, he's baiting that hook, always trying to reel you in, sitting there waiting for you to look, and now you have seen. It's a slippery slope that you're sliding down. No one throws you a rope, no one throws you a bone. It's a slippery slope that you're sliding down alone. It's a slippery slope. It's just a slippery slope that you're sliding down alone. No one throws you a rope, no one throws you a bone. Satan wants to take you home and make you his own. Satan's always waiting, he's baiting that hook, always trying to reel you back in. Sitting there waiting for you to look. You're like an open book. Satan rhymes with hating. He's always baiting you. Satan rhymes with hating. He's trying to bait you in. He's sitting there waiting for you to look, and then you see him grin. Their first mistake is thinking God has forsaken them. Their first mistake was just as thinking that mistake. Their first mistake is thinking God has forsaken them. Their first mistake. Their first mistake is thinking God has forsaken them. Is thinking God has forsaken them. Thinking God has forsaken them. The first mistake is thinking God has forsaken them, and they've forsaken him. And that's when Satan wins. You can see him as he grins. Satan's always waiting. Just trying to trigger you, trying to get your reaction, just trying to trigger you. You're as strong as you can keep your cool, just trying to trigger you. The longer you can keep your cool, the longer you won't play the fool. And Satan wants to trigger you. He's baiting you, trying to reel you in like a fish on a line. You'll be just flopping, flipping, trying to slip back into the ocean. It's a big, big drink. You're trying to sink back in. Down into the big drink. Down into the big drink. drink where all water does sink down to its own level. Down into the big drink where all water does sink down to its own level. Way below the notion of my musical emotion that can sit there in the air above your ocean of despair, where collective cynicism, negative organisms are swimming in them. Spare me from the glare, I'm aware that you're down there, you're just ambivalent, but living it blatantly benign, denied, defunct, punked. Oh, well, floating is better than being sunk, better than being sunk down into the big drink where all water does sink down to its own level. Down into the big drink where all water does sink down to its own level. Down into the big drink. Down into the big drink where all water does sink down to its own level. Well, but nothing but half of the full spectrum, positively pure pretension gets neglected and rejected while cobwebs collected. I get affected. Your fixations are evasive. In the end, they just get lost in a stream of like-minded bad ideas that just run off. The solid matter of fact, like that. Down into the big drink where all water does sink down to its own level. Down into the big drink where all water does sink down to its own level. Rags to riches to riches to rags to riches to riches to riches to rags to rags to riches to rags. The quickest to brag is the pat on his back. The quickest to pat the back. The cat rich quick. He gets the benefit. No shit, that's what you get. I shit you not. That's what you got. It's just a cheap shot. Down into the big drink. Down into the big drink. Down into the big drink where all water does sink down to its own level. Down into the big drink where all water does sink down to its own level. Don't sneak around when I wear sneakers. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. I'll leave time for you on your parking meter. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. You, okay. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. I don't beat wives, but I wear my beaters. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. Ooh. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. There's no stupid questions, there's only stupid teachers. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. I don't eat the bugs, but I eat an anteater. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. I don't vote. I don't need a leader. I don't need wise. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. Step down from your throne before you're thrown down from the steps. That's what's coming next for you. Step down from your throne before you're thrown down from the steps. That's what could be coming next for you. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. And you shouldn't need a leader either. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. Ooh. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. There's no stupid questions, there's only stupid teachers. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. I won't eat the bugs, but I'll eat an anteater. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. I don't sneak around, but I wear sneakers. I don't vote, I don't need a leader. Ooh. I'm gonna grab a bong hit and I'll be right back. Wham, bam, bam. What's lame?
I'm gonna have a root beer just like by itself.
Well, why don't you?
Because there's only 4 bottles and one of them.
We opened earlier, it's right there.
Oh, I thought that one was gone because I didn't see it.
No, it's right there. You can have it.
Oh my god, it smells terrible in that fridge.
Does it?
Yeah, it smells like bad
You
cheese.
do me a favor and honey like Gatorade there.
It doesn't smell bad in the fridge. Preparing.
What, does it really smell bad?
Yeah.
Is it the eggs?
Maybe
No,
it's the eggs.
I don't smell it.
It's probably the eggs. All the food is fresh in there. It's the eggs.
The eggs aren't fresh?
I said it. No, I said all the food is fresh in there. It's probably the eggs.
So he's tripping, basically?
I said it's probably the eggs.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what, you think they went bad?
No, it just smells like hard-boiled eggs, and he thinks it's gross.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, right. He doesn't like that.
So there's hard-boiled eggs in there?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. They're not like the deviled eggs from way
No,
a
no,
long
no,
time ago.
no.
Okay.
The whole food is clean. It's good.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't
No
think it
rotting
stinks.
food in there.
But yeah, he doesn't like the smell of hard-boiled eggs. That's what it is. What's up, Big J, bro? No, what's up, Big J Prophet? Big J Prophet. What you talking about with that Big J Prophet, man? Jennifer Cummings says hi. Hi, Jennifer Cummings. Yeah, Kenneth says they were up, bro. Bro, I don't know what you mean by that. Professional camera angle. So I'm not professional if it comes to cameras, that's for sure. But thanks for your flattering. What's good with you? Okay, I think I've read all the comments here pretty much. How's it going? It's going all right. I was having a hard time playing some guitar, but it was starting to come together there. Sometimes I'm just like, what am I doing? Like in the middle of something, I'm like, I can't even, just all falls apart. I was thinking it's either because I'm just too stoned or I'm just not stoned enough. I was thinking about teaching guitar lessons, like online, or putting videos up, or just basically showing what I know. Because I feel like I could explain it pretty easily, and it might be something that people want to learn. I don't know. Why did you ask me to open the door, kitty? What the fuck? I'll just be like, first you put your finger right here, then right here. No, I would do it in better lighting, and I would explain it really well. Because the guitar is like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle, and what you'd want to do is have like a. What really helped with me was when I was learning guitars. I had a poster on my wall when I was a kid. It had the guitar neck, and then it showed what each note is. Because it's like the alphabet, but it just goes up to G, then it starts over. Then you have flats and sharps, and that's what makes it kind of confusing. But flat just means you're going lower, and sharp means you're going higher. So you start with an E string, and then you just count up. E, then it's F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, A sharp, B, C. There's no B sharp. C sharp, D, D sharp, E. There's no E sharp, F. So that's the thing. You got to know there's no E sharp and there's no B sharp. It's just C. That's where it gets tricky. It's like we're dealing with a circle. The circle is really important when it comes to vibration and just the way that music theory is this thing that's really wild. I'd like to be able to try to teach it, but it's like really we're just dealing with sounds. We have octaves. There's octaves that we have to work with. Octaves are like, it's just when you come from a low end to the high end and it's the same note. This is an octave. It's the same note, but one's lower and one's higher. And then within that octave, there's an infinite amount of notes. But we've broken it down, just the human, whatever, music theory has been broken down. And between that octave, we've cut it up into 12 different, I think it's 12. Yeah, there's A through G, but then there's flats and sharps. It's confusing. It'll take a while to really explain it. I just find it to be fascinating because it's just like the way we've come up with these instruments and the notes and the way we've assigned letter, values to each note, and then you can make these chords out of different notes, and And there's different keys you can play in. It's pretty complicated, really, when you try to just break it all down and teach it to somebody. But a lot of it is stuff that we just know intuitively. Like when we're listening to music, we just know. There's things that you would expect, or then sometimes there's things that you wouldn't expect, but it still works. And writing music is tricky. But it's fun to teach it if you can get like an audience that really wants to learn it. Because I've only taught lessons to kids when I was just volunteering for this nonprofit my friend used to have. It was Notes for Hire. It was like a music lessons company, nonprofit or whatever. I would just help her do the recitals she would do every year because it was fun. I would just help these kids learn this song that they'd want to sing a song for their family or whatever, at the recital on. And it was always some like pop song. Like we did like, listen to your heart when it's talking to you. So I'd have to figure out the piano part and then teach it. Or I think I played the piano part while the girls sang. That's what happened. But we had like a full band on that one. But they were all little kids. It was cute. I'm sure it didn't sound that great, but it was fun though. It was like teaching kids how to play music and play together in a band. It's tricky. But when they really want to do it, they'll get it. Just got it because it might seem impossible at first when you're trying to play an instrument. It just seems like, oh, I'm never gonna get this. But that's what everybody. That's how it seemed, when I was doing it, and it's still how it still seems, when I'm trying to do something that I can't do on the guitar, and I see somebody else doing it with ease. I'm like, fuck, how did they figure that out? But then you end up surprising yourself, and you'll end up getting the hang of something that seemed totally impossible, and you're like, oh, whoa, that seemed impossible, but now I'm doing it. Okay, so then you sort of get some encouragement, you're like, okay, maybe I can do other stuff. Just keep trying. Then you'll have your, bad nights like I'm having right now, where I feel like I can't keep the rhythm of the song. It keeps falling off. But you should never let it be discouraging completely, because when I have my nights when I'm on, when I can just, when there's like this magic thing that happens where I'll just become inspired, or something happens, something clicks. And then it's like everything I play comes out in like a profound, for me, I'm hearing it going, oh, that's how this is supposed to sound. Oh, every song that I play when I'm in that mode, I don't know how I get in that mode, but I'll get in it sometimes. And then everything that I play sounds exactly how I want it to sound. And it's like, oh, that's how that song is supposed to sound. It's like this weird sort of revelation you have, like, you're feeling sort of blessed or something by God. All of a sudden you've just been like touched, and now you just can play differently, and you're hearing, and it's like you're seeing this song. The whole song is right in front of you, and you're just kind of dancing through it, and it's just easy peasy. There's nothing about it that's difficult, and you're just able to hit it just how you want to hit it, and the whole song is like coming together perfect in your mind. It's like this thing clicks in your mind. I don't know what it is, but I've talked to like other musicians, and I've played in bands and stuff before, and there's times when the whole band that you'll be playing with clicks, and everybody knows it, in the band. It's like, oh, there it is right there, and it's just in the pocket, just boom. And there's, it's that kind of shit that you do this for. Like when you're not always in that mode, but like having gotten there, on a semi-regular basis over the years, like get in that mode maybe once a month or twice a month. It's that time of the month. I don't know what it is. There's not like an actual like pattern I don't know what it is that causes that mode to happen when I go into that mode. But I've talked to other people about this, and they have the same thing, where it's just like there's some nights that there's some days when you're playing and you're just on, and everything just becomes so easy. I wish I could explain it better, but and you'll notice this, like if there's bands that you get really into, and like I was really into the Grateful Dead, and what I loved about them was they were so, there was something about them where they were just so unique in a way, the way they played. They didn't always sound good, but when they had their nights when you could tell when they were on point, there was some magic thing that happened to the Grateful Dead on occasion. And if you got to see it live in concert, it would change you because it was this thing. I don't know how to explain it. It's like freedom or something. I don't know a better word. It's like they're like surfing through the song or something. It's like each instrument is just kind of riding this wave, and when it clicks, and I've read interviews by these guys, and that's what they explain it the same way, where it's just like sometimes we click and it just this magic thing happens, and it's like interactive with the audience. So if you're ever there at the show, and the Grateful Dead are gone now, but like I used to go watch them play, and there was a couple times I'd seen them like 100 times or more than that probably, but I've only seen it like maybe 4 or 5 shows that where it was just there was something magic that happened, and everybody at that show and the band, everybody was just like perfectly aware. You couldn't miss it. If you were there paying attention, you were fucking moved by it, and it was just something magic. It's something arises, it's like this. I don't know what it is. I guess you could call it inspiration or just something takes over. Though it's really wild. That's what you would call like church or something, where it's actually there's some unity where there's like a lot of people. They're all on the same you know groove. It's really wild, man. And it's that kind of shit that makes me want to be a musician, and that's why I practice and play every day. And I don't always sound good, but or as far as my standards are concerned, but just I do it for that thing that I'm trying to explain. That fleeting mood that you get into where everything just clicks and everything just makes sense. And I've been tempted to go through all my videos and just try to find my live streams where I was because there's been times where I've been streaming live and it was clicking like that, but it's just so few and far between. I'd have to go fish through all my streams and find it. But it would be good shit to go and like weed out and like compile because that's when there's something special happening where you're not just a dude playing guitar. There's something else that takes over. I don't know what it is. I used to think it was like, I mean, back when I used to take a lot of acid and I'd play with my old band I was in, we'd all take acid and we'd play together, and we would have these like these moments where we could kind of induce that mood by using psychedelics. And not every time though, it didn't always work that way, but more often than not. So if you take psychedelics and you play with your band, like that's our old formula for inducing that mood had something to do with taking the acid. But it would happen when we weren't on acid, though. It wasn't just about the acid, but the acid helped induce that sort of thing. It's like you're bringing it on. It's like you're taking it more seriously or something. I don't know what it is. I wish I could explain it better. But it's that magic thing when it clicks, there's no denying it. Like anybody that's paying attention will notice it. And what's cool is like I think it has to do with the audience, and like that's part of it. Like, because I can't think of any time when I've had that mood and when I was just playing by myself, or there wasn't anybody else listening. There's something about the people that are listening to it, or it's like it sort of feeds off the audience. It's like a mutual. There's like this collective effort. So I think that having people witnessing it and maybe participating in some way, shape, or form that helps, or it's necessary for that mood to take place, to arise. It's not something that you can make happen, though. It's so weird. I wish I could just be in that mood all of a sudden whenever I'm playing, but I guess then it wouldn't be as special. But I could like point out some Grateful Dead concerts where there was definitely that was going on. I mean, there's certain dates that I know that they played. I was like a diehard Deadhead, but any Deadhead would know these certain dates. It's like Barton Hall from '77. It was May 8th, '77. We just had passed that day recently. Like that show was so good. I didn't go see the show in concert, but I listened to the bootlegs of it. That show had such an effect on me. I didn't even go to the show, but I just listened to that bootleg so many times that even now, when when the day 5/8 comes, I'm like, oh, there's a day Barton Hall '77 when the Grateful Dead played Scarlet Begonias, Fire on the Mountain, Estimated Prophet, fucking, I forget what else they played at that show. Not Fade Away. But it's all about the Scarlet Begonias in that show. That show was so awesome. I was walking around Robin Square. Not a chance to the one, but a nip to the air. From the other direction, she was calling my eye. Could be an illusion, but I might as well try. Might as well try. That's how it goes. She was scarlet begonias tucked into her curls. Knew right away she was not like other girls. Other girls. Well, I ain't often right, but I've never been wrong. Seldom turns out the way it does in this song. Once in a while you can get shown the light in the strangest places if you look at it right. Once in a while you can get shown the light in the strangest places if you look at it right. I can't play that song very well. It's a hard one. She wore scarlet begonias tucked into her curls. Knew right away she. That's fucking Sublime covered that song, so a lot of people know that song by. They think it's a Sublime song. You want me to make his bed? Yeah. Okay. Are you deadhead, Scott? You know the Grateful Dead? I can't play tonight. I suck. On the day when I was born, Daddy sat down and cried. And the mark just as plain as day that could not be denied. Say the king caught Abel a rolling loaded dice. Ace of spades behind his ear and him not thinking twice. Half step Mississippi uptown to lose. Hello, baby, I'm gone, goodbye. Half a cup of rock and rye. Farewell to you, old southern skies. I'm on my way, on my way. I gotta go put my kid to bed. Ugh. I used to be able to play the Grateful Dead music really good. Sometimes I still can, but tonight I'm having a really off night playing the guitar. It's just like, I fucking might as well stop. I'm gonna go put my kid to bed. It's gonna take me a few minutes. Should I just end the show or what? Dude, we gotta play together, Scott. Hold on, this won't take more than 2 minutes. Get in the bed, boy. Get in the bed, boy. just get in your bed, man. Rest your head, man. Go to sleep. Time to rest your head, man. Get in your bed, man. Your furry suit. He's shopping around for a furry suit. Oh no. I'm actually interested. My grandma wants to buy it. For a furry suit? Yeah. Well, like, there's been times I wanted to dress up as like an animal for Halloween, you know. And I would see this costume, and I'm like, oh man, that's expensive. Like, I'd want to be a lion or something. Like, oh man, I can't do that. It costs a lot to be a furry. Buying furry suits for $300. Just plain foam. That'd be fun. I'd like some foam, please. Bingo, what are you doing, kitty? You crazy cat. Okay, bed popping time. I'm gonna put the leopard skin blanket on. And your bed will be perfect for your perfectness. To get a perfect rest in. What's right in your bed? Come on, Riley. You gotta get in bed. It's so late. Come on, bro. Get in bed, bro. Unless your daddy's coming for you. I'll cover you. I'll cover the TV up. It's so perfect. Look at my foot. Well, almost perfect. Smells like watermelon in here. That's good. The watermelon smells good. I love watermelon. I do too. You turn off the light, babe? She won't let me go, yes. Talking to her girl. Oh, the raccoons are out. Look, the raccoon came to say hi. Gotta take it off this setting. It's crazy. Hi, Raccoonie. What's up, buddy? Oh, both of you guys came out. You guys want some food? Yeah, man. Like that tangent I was going on earlier about music and that thing that'll happen where people. It's like a thing that happens between the band and the audience. Like you can't. It doesn't really happen when you're just by yourself. But like something happens where you click. Way to take it easy, you guys. Come on, man. I think one of these raccoons is pregnant, and that's why she's all feisty lately. What's up? You guys just eat me out of house and home. I swear, I can't keep... Raccoons are just food. That's all they do. Food, 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 food. They're always fooding. That's all they do. That's all they care about. Fooding. Are you fooding right now? You trying to eat my shoe? What are you going to eat my shoe for? How are you going to eat my foot? They always try to eat my feet. You can't have my foot for dinner? Why would you think that my foot is food anyways? I don't try to eat your feet. He's looking at me. I'm talking to him. He's oh, I don't know. It just looks like food. I don't know if they're trying to get my attention or just being like, it's their way of telling me, like, get me some food. But they're always trying to eat my feet. They're so cute. I love them. I wish they would cuddle with me. But they come up and they'll eat out of my hand and shit. And they hang out with me. But they're always just begging for food. It's all they do. And my skunks, too. I love my skunks. But basically, there's a family of skunks and a family of raccoons living here at all times. But it's a different family every year. Like I'll see the generations go. It's like they'll have babies, and then the babies will end up staying. You know, the family spreads out. It's not the same family. It's always different. It's like a recycling. Because I've seen families, you know, they spawn and then they get bigger and they all kind of disperse. But there's always some skunk family and some raccoon family living in my house with me, like behind my wall. Because we're on the downstairs here, and there's like a just dirt behind our wall, and that's where the raccoons. Cause it's kind of closed off from the rest of the. It's it's kind of walled off, but it's just like not developed. So I'll hear them scuffling around and they're behind my wall sometimes at night. They're just my buddies, and but it's always a different batch of them. Though. I don't. We haven't had the same because it's been like this for like 10 years. There's always skunks and there's always raccoons living here, and they're always cool. I never have a problem with any of them, and they live together here too, which is crazy. The skunks are like at the top of the food pecking order because of obvious reasons. But they're so cute. I love the skunks. They're the cutest. And the little baby skunks, like when a family of skunks is here, I love it because they run around together. They're so cute. It's like a cartoon. There'll be like one big skunk and then a bunch of little ones chasing after it, and they like run across the street. It's so cute. The skunks are the cutest, and they're not mean or they don't spray you. As long as you don't scare the shit out of them. But like they get used to you, and you feed them every night. They come up to you and ask you for food and shit. They're not trying to spray you. They have sprayed before, but not. I got sprayed by a little one time, by a baby one. It was funny. He came up and attacked me. Oh, there's a skunk. Come on up, skunky. He's down behind that raccoon there. You can see his tail. See him right there? He's cruising. There he is. Hey, coming up, Skunky Poo. Come on up, Skunky Poo. Where'd you go, Skunky? Come back. Don't be shy. Skunky. Raccoon. He's cute. You guys being shy? You don't want to be on camera? Where'd you go, Skunky Poo? Oh, they're foraging. My animals. I don't like going and like making an animal be your pet. I don't like that. I've never been one to want to like go make some animal be my. You're gonna have to be with me. You have to stay and listen to me. You have to be. I'm taking you everywhere with me. You're my pet, and like, where you're like having to force this animal to be your pet. Like I've had people like just old girlfriends of mine or people I've lived with where like I have to deal with their dogs, and their dogs are always running away. It's like your dog doesn't want to be with you. He runs away whenever he gets a chance. I just let him go, Fucking take off then, If you don't want to kick it, you don't gotta kick it. You just leave, or come back when you're done running around. I don't like the idea of like holding something hostage. It seems kind of fucking sadistic. But I have pets. It's just, but they found me. They came to me, My cat came and found me. I was just sitting here one day fucking around, and I heard this little kitten outside going, meow. And this little baby kitten out here just all by itself. It just showed up. And it took me a while to kind of get it to warm up to me, but my brother finally caught it, and we just domesticated it and whatever. We raised it. And it's my cat Bingo, and she's had babies now, and we have two of her babies living with us here. But like, yeah, she just came and found our house. She just came and found us. It was so weird. And I've seen other cats in the neighborhood that look kind of like her. I think it was just some feral cat had kittens, and they all found homes. We got lucky and got one. It's so cute though. But yeah, it's like slavery. You're like begging your dog to like be with you, like it's always running away. It's so dumb. I never could stand that. Like I was always getting. There's so many times I've had to help people find their dogs. We went to some park somewhere or something, went hiking, and the dogs just took off and fucking never came back. And it's like getting dark, and then they're at the car waiting for us or something. Some dumb shit. We like look all over for them. there's been times when like I've had dogs jump out of my truck while I was driving in downtown Los Gatos, and they didn't get hurt, but they just jumped out. I didn't even know they jumped out. And I'm at the stoplight, and some lady pulls up next to me. She's like, "Oh my God, your dog jumped out of your car back there!" I'm like, ah, oh fuck. We turn around and go find them. They're all running around downtown. These fucking dogs. Those were the standard poodles of my ex-girlfriend's dogs. They were cute, but they were just so much work, dude. And they just didn't want to be there. You know, they always wanted to leave. Unlike my raccoons and skunks, they always want to hang out with me, huh, Raccoony? You're just kicking it. What's up, buddy? Does your wife have a pet like that where she makes it be your pet? Yeah, because I've wanted a dog for a while, but I'm not going to just go get a dog. Like, I want it to come to me. You know, I'm just like, there's going to be a dog in my life eventually, but I don't want to have to go look for it. I want it to show up. Dogs are easier. I mean, dogs should be easier, but like, I've seen some, I've seen so many people have such terrible experiences with their dogs. I mean, but the thing is, the dog is going to reflect you. You know, like basically, the dog is, if you get the dog and you train it and you have it at the, you know, early enough in its life, and you're just there with the dog like every day, like the dog will adapt to your lifestyle and will reflect your lifestyle, and will even start to look like you and act like you. So when I look back on my life and the people that had problems with their dogs and the things their dogs used to do, you know, I could look at it and I can look at the people who the dogs belong to, and think, oh, well, that makes perfect sense. They do reflect their owners. It's so obvious. Like, you know, the dogs that look really cute, but they'll bite you. You'll be like bleeding. You know, it's like, and they, you know, and it's like the owner is like some hot chick, you know, but she's always like single. Your dog was a beast family protector. Yeah. I think it's good if you live out in the woods or something, and you're out in the cuts. You know, it's good to have a dog because they function as an alarm clock, and well, not a clock, but an alarm. You know, in case there's like invaders. They'll even attack invaders, and that's really good. It's better than having a gun. I mean, it's good to have both, really, but a lot of times, I mean, the dog will just take care of it for you. You don't even got to do nothing. And the dog will just keep the people out. People are like, oh, there's a dog there. I don't want to fuck with that crazy dog. Then some crooks, they get they got some tricks up their sleeves. They'll stick a they'll stick a Seroquel pill inside some meat and give it to the dog. Dog falls asleep, out cold. I knew these people that used to rob wrecking yards. They'd go take the catalytic converters out and tried to get me wrapped up in all that, and I was like, fuck you. It's just crazy. You guys are nuts. But they would do that. They would put Seroquel inside a piece of meat, and they'd feed it to the junkyard dog. The dog would pass out. It doesn't kill the dog, it just makes him pass out. And then they'd go rob the place at night. I think they got caught. I don't know. Those guys are crazy. They're like people that spend more time in prison than they do out. But I remember him explaining that to me. I'm like, God, that's fucked up. He drugged the dog. It's better than killing it at least, but still, it's fucked up. Poor dog. I hate that shit, Seroquel, man. But that shit knocks you the fuck out. Like if you're ever in a situation where you need to sleep for a few days, yeah, it's good for that. It's like an antipsychotic. I forgot about Seroquel. I haven't thought about that shit in a while. Back in my pill days, I used to be like a pharmacy, man. I had like every kind of narcotic pill you could think of. I didn't do them all the time, but I just like to collect them. I had like all the colors and all the sizes and shapes and dosages and all the different effects they would do. I was like a little fucking pharmacist. I know a lot about pharmaceuticals, mainly narcotics, just from my experience when I was younger. And I think, I mean, I enjoyed the drugs too, but I also just liked having all of them in big big containers, all different shapes and colors, and but I could, I knew how to identify them all, and which ones worked good together. And I used to snort them. I'd get the fucking Dilaudid or whatever, and like fucking Xanax, and smash it up, snort it. I used to love that shit. That would fucking wreck me. I'd probably die if I tried to do that now. I don't know how I used to party like that. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. It was just like everybody was partying like that. I'm sure there's still plenty of people partying like that, but like you'd forget, you'd lose time. Like you'd be like, you'd wake up and be like, where the fuck? It would take so long to like figure out everything that. Okay, oh yeah, like you'd have to ask people like, so what was I doing? You have to find everything. You fucking lose all your shit. I don't miss that. One thing I noticed that Xanax, it makes food taste really good. I'd always get the munchies like crazy when I did Xanax, and it would just, that's something, that's one thing that I really liked about Xanax, because it would just make food taste so good. I don't know what it was. It was just that one drug in particular that made food taste so fucking good. Like stuff that you normally liked already would just taste so much better. It was crazy, dude. What the fuck was that all about? Like, I mean, these drugs are like psychotropics or whatever. They're heightening your senses, And taste is one of your senses. But it's just weird because I don't remember hearing anybody else ever mention that Xanax makes food taste really good. I'd like wake up the next day all like fucking, all my stomach just I ate too much crap. All blacked out, fucking can't remember nothing. I can't wait for you to have your babies, Raccoony. I'm tired of you being a bitch. Raccoons are usually really cool, but when they're pregnant, they turn into assholes. They're just all fighting and they growl and it sounds all fucking feisty, like they're about to kill each other, but nothing bad ever happens. It just sounds kind of, it's sort of like startling. It did. You know what I'm talking about? Xanax makes food taste good. There's something weird about that shit. I would just get the munchies. Be like, oh, I'm gonna root beer float. It'd just be so loaded and it'd be so good. It's fun and everything, but I don't miss it. I wouldn't, like, if somebody offered me a line of Xanax right now, I'd be like, no thanks. Because all the perks and stuff that come with it, and like, it's too heavy, It's like, it's not conducive to like a laid back. I mean, it's just too laid back, or just, I don't know. It just kind of wrecks your whole deal, really. I don't know how people manage to do that shit years on end on a daily basis. Like anti-anxiety medication, I guess, benzos, the benzodiazepine family, they're really dangerous. And you get addicted to them, and like you'd be physically. I never had to go through a physical withdrawal from the benzos. Maybe I did. I don't know. It might have just been part of the whole kick that I had to do. But the opiates are what. And that's the worst kick ever. There's nothing to compare that to. It's if you think you've been miserable before, but you've never kicked opiates, you don't know. You don't know misery. You have no idea what misery is until you do that. And I don't recommend it. It's like it's like reality falls apart and you feel like you're dying. It's just like every second that passes is like an hour. And it's just fucking painful, man. I would not ever wish that on my worst enemy. I don't have enemies, but if I did, I wouldn't wish it on them because it's just an awful, awful thing to have to go through. But what doesn't kill you only toughens you up. Adderall, yeah. It's like fucking amphetamine. I think it's like, there's one of the, I think it's like Ritalin is just like methamphetamine. I think that's what the active ingredient. There's like Disoxin, I think was like the diet pill. It's just methamphetamine in a pill. Fucking bong is clogged. Dude, that makes me frustrated, dude. When my bong is clogged and I've got this killer bud just smoking and I'm not able to smoke it. Grr. Yeah, man, you don't want to fuck with that shit, bro. Don't ever do that. I mean, you might have to do it for pain sometime in your life, and it's good for that. But just make sure you you cut it out before. I mean, it doesn't take. When I was doing heroin every day for, like, it took me about a year of doing it every day before I would start to get sick without it. Like I remember I had been doing it for maybe almost a year, but then I went on vacation with my family, and I didn't even think to bring any, which is weird. But like I was fine, and I was just like I was out there with them for 4 days river rafting. I didn't even hardly think about it. I don't know how I did that really when I look back on it, because I just went right back into doing it when I got back home. But I wasn't getting sick back then. I hadn't gotten sick before. But then I think it was like a few months went by, and then me and my girlfriend at the time we tried to quit, and it was just like, whoa, this isn't gonna be easy. But that was just the beginning. That was just the beginning. Like you get so fucking ill. Like you just it's just so miserable. There's this threshold where you're like, okay, I'd rather be a junkie than have to fucking go through this any longer, you know? And you see how people get stuck in that. You fucking realize you're like, oh, this is what it's about. This is awful. You're trapped, you know? You feel trapped. And it's like this, you might feel good for most of the time, you know, because you're high or whatever, but like, but you do get a tolerance and, you know, but like, but the thing is, in the back of your mind, you know that there's like this horrid thing that's lingering. It's really awful, man. Like, you know, eventually you're gonna have to face the fact. It's just so bad. Some people never do. They just go their whole life. You know, they don't ever try to quit. People would be like, why don't they just stop? Why don't they just go through the kick and just be sick? It's like, well, dude, it's easier said than done, man. It's fucking painful. It really is. Like your reality starts to crumble and just fall apart. There's no way to explain it better than that. Everything just breaks, dude. You realize that you have muscles in places that you would have never thought, because every one of your muscles is aching, and it's like tightening, and then you can't stretch it all the way out. And like, you know, you get these your legs. That's why they call it kicking, because your legs are kicking constantly. There's nothing you can do about it. Just nothing. There's nothing more miserable than that experience. I can't think of anything that's more miserable than that. It really is the worst thing you could possibly have to deal with. And you know, the shit they got nowadays. I mean, it's God. It's even harder to quit. So yeah, it's a bad scene, man. I heard someone trying to say the opioid crisis was a psyop. I'm like, not if you're fucking, not if you had to deal with it. I guess it's a psyop. It's kind of like a physical op too. That when I look back on it, that's when I was doing heroin. It was like it was everywhere all of a sudden. I was like right around the time we went into fucking right after it was like I think I started doing it when I was like it was like 2005, 2004, 2005. That's right after we went to Afghanistan. We started getting all the fucking heroin and sending it back. I mean, that's what they were doing. That's one of the things they were doing. That's why it was everywhere. That's why I had no problem finding it and fucking getting hooked on it. I was stupid, you know. But yeah, it was just everywhere. Everybody was doing it. All the people that I knew that, you know, that I was hanging out with, we all started doing it. It was just everywhere all of a sudden. And it's not like it was an accident or it just happened, you know, it was brought here and the streets were flooded with it. It was definitely a crisis if you, when you think about it. So yeah, you can thank the government for that one. They don't give a fuck, man. They're just people too in government costumes. It's only illegal if you get caught, you know. And typically, if you have to get out of jail free card, people succumb to that, you know. They're like, well, I have the power. I'm above the law. I can make so much money right now, and nobody can stop me. Let's go. And they kind of figure out some way to justify it in their mind, and they proceed to smuggle mad amounts of heroin. I mean, I don't know how they were sending it back in like, I heard they were sending it back in like body bags and shit. It's fucking nuts, dude. Yeah, it'll drive you nuts. That's what it does. These are good. The juicy ones, not the normal cluster nerds, but the juicy ones. They're the new ones. They have like juice inside of them. They're really good. There's something about kicking in jail. It's easier than kicking like out of jail. I mean, it's I don't know, I wouldn't say that it's easier, but that's like where I've done it, you know. It takes about a week, and then you're starting to feel better. Maybe longer. If there's an accident. It's crazy. There's a highway like a few miles up here, and it's the highway that winds from Santa Cruz over to San Jose, and it's Highway 17. It's like notorious. Like it's just a fucked up road. It's super windy and steep, and they I don't know, the engineers that designed that road are just lousy. I don't think it's they just didn't know what they were doing. I don't know why they built it the way they did, but the roads are banked the wrong way. Like you'll be coming into this corner where it's like a sharp turn where you want the road banked so you're like your weight is pushing into the corner, you know. This is like no brainer engineering. You're coming around a sharp corner, but instead the road is banked the opposite way. So your weight is pushing you into the center divide, and then there's like a fucking spring that leaks water onto the road right there during the winter, and it's like fucking, you know, black ice or whatever they call it. So you're coming around the corner, it's banked the wrong way, and there's fucking ice on there. And so people crash there every time it gets cold and wet, you know. I'll sit here and I'll be out here having a couple cigarettes or whatever, and every time there's a fucking car accident, and they always stop right up there. See, hear that? They just now stopped right when I said that. But you can hear them stop. It's at this corner right up here. It's a sharp corner. I know exactly where everybody crashes. I was thinking we got to put a sign up there. It's like a tally or something, you know. It's like it's been this many days or this many minutes since the last accident right here, you know. Or like just like I don't know why it's not talked about more. Because I mean, the first responders or whatever, the people that come to say, I mean, they have to be going there every fucking day. They have to. It's kind of like a routine, you know. I mean, I would think that it would like somebody would do a report on it, or it would just be some brought to someone's attention where it's like, you know, the community would be like, this is a problem, but it's been going on like that for years, dude. This past winter went by, I was out here going, oh, there's an accident in the same corner. You hear the sirens coming, and then they stop right there and know exactly where they're gonna stop every fucking time. And there's other places like that on the highway too, where people crash all the time. You can see the marks all over the divide and shit. And there's always like broken pieces of car all over the road. And it's just like a graveyard out there. Like if you walk up that highway from Santa Cruz, if you're to walk all the way over next to the highway, which most people, it's hard to do, but but if you do, it's a graveyard. There's just cars everywhere. It's fucking wild. Because it's mostly just like, you know, cutty like woods and hills. And it's like if it's like near somebody's property or a county road or whatever, it gets cleaned up, you know. But like a lot of the cars that just go off, they just they just leave them down there. It's crazy. You'd be surprised how many fucking it's a fucking graveyard, dude. It's wild, man. There's so many cars. I mean, you don't find dead bodies in them or anything, but I'm just saying it's like a car graveyard, and it's weird. I mean, I would think that people would get their car like helicopter lifted out of there, or the county would clean it up, but they just leave them. I mean, I don't know if that's still the policy, but like I remember hiking up, and my friend was like, "You'll never believe this." We went hiking. It's like because you don't really hike normally. Nobody would really hike along the highway like that because it's really hard to do. There's like a lot of places that are really kind of sketchy. But if you just stay close to the highway and come up the hill, you'll see all these cars. Like there's certain places where it's like, man, crazy. We used to go out there and take all the license plates. I had a collection of license plates. we we had this fort up in the woods here in Treeport. It was like a big like fortress. I mean, there was more than one Treeport. It was like this. We had the whole side of this hill all fucking. It was like Ewok Village or something. A lot of the stuff is still up there, but it was pretty sweet back in the day. We used to go party up there, but I had nailed all these license plates up like on the side of this tree, and there's like you know I don't know, there's like 100 of them. There's some really old ones, you know, like old California plates, like the yellow and black ones. And we had some out-of-state ones and shit. There was even some county ones that we had. Like you'd be surprised how many cars you find, like abandoned. You really would. I would think a county would be more inclined to want to clean all that shit up, but they just leave it out there. It's wild. It's no man's land. Bear Creek Road, yeah, you know what's up. Masood's Lodge. Oh yeah, that guy's cool. Masood, the guy over on Highway 9, the guy that has that little shop. Masood's cool. I like that guy. He's funny too. I think he's still around. I think he had some other guy kind of taking over his shop. Yeah, so you've probably gone out to like the not the Avenue of Giants, but the Henry Cavill like old growth redwood trees down there. Fucking amazing. Something crazy happened not that long ago where there was like one of those anomalous fires that just happened. It was fucking wild. My friend was telling me about it. He was here the other day. He said it was crazy. He was working at the gas station there in Felton. He said all of a sudden it was just a normal day, but then all of a sudden it just got really dark. All these clouds rushed in, and it was a system that just showed up out of nowhere. And it was like lightning cracking off, and all this crazy shit happened. And apparently, like lightning, you know, started all these fires, and all this shit was burning, and all this fucking chaos, and it just happened all of a sudden. And he said the lightning bolt, one of them struck one of the oldest trees at the Henry Cow there, and burned, and like fucked it up, like you know. And this tree, I mean, it's like a couple thousand years old. The old growth there in Felton, they're fucking old. They have one slice that they have, you know, where they show you the rings, and they took the trouble to count them all, and it shows you like the timeline because each ring is a year, you know. And so you count them, and it's like, and it shows like we're You know, Jesus Christ was born. These trees are fucking old, dude. It's unbelievable. And one of those old trees, you know, I mean, I think it's still alive, but it just, you know, it lost all its, like most of the tree, you know, the trees don't die. They don't, they don't die. But it's like they can, but I mean, normally they wouldn't. They would just grow forever. They don't have like a lifespan. But that tree got hit by lightning and it was just fucking cooked it, dude. My friend was like, it was something weird. He's all, they were shooting laser beams out of the sky. He's not even a conspiracy theorist. Like, he's not even, I have to explain flat Earth to him every time I see him. Because he's always kind of like trying to talk to me about, you know, Jupiter and the moons and fucking, you know, the black holes. And I'm like, dude, you know, we used to talk about that stuff when we were younger, you know, but like, I've, I've ditched all that, bro. Like, the system that seeks to oppress us, you know, the system that puts us in jail for what they call a disease, for the victimless crime of having a disease that they persecute us. That same system has also brainwashed us into this really bizarre worldview that we all have, we all share, that is completely unverifiable. And, you know, I have to explain it to him like that every time I see him. It's so frustrating. So, like, he's not a conspiracy theorist, is my point. But he thought that somebody shot lasers out of the sky and started that fire. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, dude. Because that's the kind of shit I would say. But yeah, it's funny because we're talking about flat Earth too. I mean, I don't even bother trying to tell him about flat Earth anymore. It's just such a triggering phrase. I'm just like, dude, I just don't believe that the storyline has sufficient proof. Like, we can see stars and the things they call planets and stuff. We, you know, all that stuff is visible in the sky, but I just don't think the sky goes under my feet. That's the part that I don't buy it. Because everywhere I go, the sky's over my head, so I feel like I have a better argument. You know, I can just say, no, it's always over your head. It never goes under your feet. Well, but it wraps around like a ball. What, does it? Is that what you experience? Have you experienced that? No. Well, if you did, you went straight in one direction, you'd come all the way back to where you started. Well, are you sure you're not going in a circle? I mean, because we're talking like 24,000 miles, you know. It's not like anybody's ever walked 24,000 miles in a straight line, you know, or traveled or any, you know, I mean, come on, get real. You know, typically if you walk and then you come back to where you started, you're going in a circle, you know, and that's probably what people have been doing. You think about it, because to assume that you're like the sky wraps around under your feet, the sky, that's that's pretty crazy. It really is. To just accept that as being true without having witnessed it or like experienced that to any extent, you know. And then if you really think about it, nobody's ever experienced that because nobody's ever experienced Earth as a ball. Nope. You could say the astronauts did, you know, but I think they're liars. They're such a small fraction of society as population, you know. It's like they could just as easily be a bunch of liars or people that were hypnotized or something, or AI for all I know. I just don't believe it, dude. It'd be one thing if we could go take the space elevator and go, you know, if we could go witness it, then I would just shut the fuck up, you know. But I see some problems with all of it, really. The fact that we've seen so many fucking green screen glitches. I mean, that's what really gets me is there's so many people that won't accept the fact that NASA's faking shit. But it's like you have to just be objective and look at it, or just be critical of it instead of objective. Don't be objective, be critical. Come at it with like this perspective of like, is this bullshit? You know, I'm gonna look at this and I think it's bullshit. You know, I look at it like that instead of looking at it like, well, I'm so amazed, or it could be bullshit. No, no, just look at it like, is this bullshit? Because you'll find that you'll answer your question pretty quickly. It is bullshit. It's not how it would happen. If we sent people around the moon right now, there would be cameras on every fucking part of that ship. Everywhere that you could have a camera, there would be one. And it would be recording the whole time. If if it couldn't be streaming it, it would be recording. It would be documenting every angle that you could see because we're traveling. That's the whole point of the fucking mission. We're traveling away from Earth to see what's out there. We don't get to do that. We would film every angle. That's what people do. It would be so thoroughly documented. We'd see every angle of it. If it wasn't live, you could make the excuse that we couldn't stream the whole thing. Fine. But you would record it. You'd figure out a way to put cameras in every part of that fucking ship, facing out. Nobody gives a fuck what the people are doing inside the ship. I mean, it's cool to see them floating around and stuff, but that's not the main reason you're doing this. You're doing this so we can go see what's out there, dude. And that's not what they did. They had like some iPhones, and it showed them floating around in their thing like they do on the ISS, which is fake. And so it's just like the same old bag, It's like, you guys didn't even try to step up your game at all. Shit's bogus, dude. It's totally fake. I mean, whatever. It's like, I don't think it's real at all. People do, and they make arguments. Well, that'd be really hard to fake. Blah, 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 blah. I saw him get on the rocket and this, that, and the other thing. I really don't think anybody in their right mind would get on top of a rocket like that. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Go 18,000, how fast? Like, you would die, dude. You'd turn into a puddle. You would just be like this puddle on the floor. You can't go that fast. You out of your mind? These Air Force pilots, and they go like 3Gs or whatever, they're fucking, those super fast flying planes, they'll pass out way before they reach, like a fraction of the speed they say these guys are going in the rocket. They'll lose control of their body. They pass out because they're going too fast. Too much force is being exerted on their body. Our bodies aren't made to withstand that. You'll pass the fuck out way before you reach 17,000 miles per hour. And they're accelerating, within a few minutes. The thing, it says they're going like, tens of thousand miles per hour. You know how fast of an acceleration that is? You wouldn't be able, there's no way to cushion that. You'd be dead. You'd just be dead, dude, if that was really what was happening. There's no way, dude. People just accept it as being real because they say it's real. But, I mean, you have to consider, like, the physics of it. Like, you can't go that fast. And how are you going to propel something that fast, really, 25,000 miles per hour. Like, nobody's ever gone that fast, dude. That's such a bold claim. And then it just shows such cheesy, and just for the people to be these, like, soft-ass fucking cornballs. No. No soft-ass cornball is going to go do something like that. No. Only the baddest of the bad, just the toughest of the tough, boldest of the bold, motherfucking fearless fucking badasses would do that. Not some dorky nerds. There's no fucking way, dude. I mean, do you know the human condition? I mean, are you aware of the human condition? People and their psychology? People that are like, sort of like domesticated, like, normies. Those people don't want to go on top of a rocket. And, I mean, that's not the type of person that would want to do that. And be all like, look, this is my shrimp and I'm floating, wee. We're gonna look at, I thought there'd be more stars. Derp, derp, derp. Not like, here, let me show you out the window, the things that people would normally do. They just don't act like the people, they don't play their parts well. It's poorly scripted, poorly cast. They did a better job casting than Apollo missions back with Buzz and Neil. Those guys actually played their parts pretty well. But it was still just as hard to believe, really, because, I mean, the story is just ridiculous. If you look at the limb, it just didn't age well, I mean, that shit was just a cheap stage prop. It looked terrible. I guess maybe people believed it back then because they didn't have a chance to, like, study it, it was just on the TV, maybe in some magazines later, but they can dress it up, they couldn't rewind it and then go back and study it and, like, scrutinize, zoom in on it, and No, they didn't have that option back then. There was no internet. There was no like digital fucking shit. You know what I mean? It's like it was on TV, you saw it, and everybody celebrated. It's in your history book and the newspaper, and that's it. You don't get to like scrutinize it really. I mean, you could later when they started, you know, when there was like places you could go to see some of the photographs and whatever. But like they, you know, people that covered it on television, they just, you know, they glorified it and they whatever. It just made it seem real. But nowadays, like, it's a different reality, man. We can scrutinize things and you know, we can look at shit and we know what the tricks they can do, and so we can look for the signs of that, and it's just always so easy to debunk it, you know. Like the little red dot, the little marker, you know, on the bag that disappears and reappears. It's like tracking for like fucking augmented reality. It's like that's just like I mean that was just a dead giveaway. Just one little thing like that. Why is there tracking on some of the floating items that disappears and reappears? Because that's how you do augmented reality. That's why. So that was fake. So you guys lied and faked it. Unless they want to come explain why that red dot was there, disappearing and reappearing, which they won't. And the fact that they don't acknowledge that, and because that's a valid point, it's quite valid. Because that's not what happens. Things don't just things don't just appear and disappear on a bag of floating food. Food doesn't float, for one thing, and so there's a couple of things there that we have to think about. There's floating things, and then there's also a red dot that appears and disappears on that same floating thing. So things don't float, for one thing, and the fact that they're faking space would tell you that space is fake. And if it's not fake, well, then they've done themselves a horrible disservice by faking space. But the only reason you would fake it is because all the shit you're saying isn't true. Because if it was true, then you would just go do all the shit that you're saying, and then it would be true. But you're faking it. We can see that you faked it. So all the shit you're saying isn't true. I mean, you just have to like back engineer the whole psyop. Just be like, they're faking it, so that means all the stuff that they say they're doing and that they can do regarding all this orbital mechanics and, you know, speeds they claim they reach and all this slingshotting and all these maneuvers and all this technical fucking jargon, all that shit's fake. Because if they're faking it, that means all that shit that they say they can do is fake. They can't do it because if it was real, then they would just go do it because they say they can do it and they explain it how they can do it, and then they would just go do it and it wouldn't be fake. But since it's fake, that means they can't go do it because it's a lie. I mean, you just have to just break it down. They wouldn't be faking it if they could do it for real. And if they could do it for real, I guarantee you the people that would be willing to get on top of a rocket and to go fly around the moon, they're not going to be some goofball dorks. Fuck no, man. People like that, they don't want to take a risk like that. Are you out of your mind? You'd have to be out of your fucking mind to want to go do something like that. I mean, those type of people are hard to find, dude. You know, but the right stuff these days is just like a, you know, good smile and a nice strong belt. You need to have a nice good belt to be an astronaut. Because pants fall down in space. Pants fall down in space. You gotta have a nice smile on your face to be an astronaut. You gotta have a nice smile and a strong belt. You gotta have a nice bison belt, nice big thick belt. Keep them pants up in space, because pants fall down in space. They do. Pants have gravity in space. They gotta wear belts on the ISS as part of the dress code. Gotta have a nice belt and a good smile. They're all clean shaven. They're all so well manicured on the ISS. And they're always smiling with these fucking fake smiles plastered across their face. And they just, they never have any kind of meaningful transmissions with the Earth. They're never doing anything noteworthy because they never say any, but they're just doing the science. And it's always completely just, you know, purposely vague, and just like you can see that there's nothing about it that is like serving any real purpose, and like the amount of money and time it would take and risks that you're taking and all this kind of stuff, and it's just for it to be all like hunky-dory and just all the time. It doesn't, it's not true. That's not how life is. I mean, there'd be things that would have happened along the way that would have been, like tricky, and there would have been some stuff that happened that, it's never just perfect all the way through. I mean, well, we just whipped this thing together, oh, by the way, we got a space station, we didn't feel like documenting it necessarily. It was, it was kind of hard to document it. But you can like see how it would have looked, if we had documented it. We just kind of built this space station. We brought up different components and just attached it up there, flying 18,000 miles per hour, spacewalks, like in a pressurized spacesuit in a near vacuum. You would explode. Like, that wouldn't work. I mean, there's no material strong enough that you could make a spacesuit out of that wouldn't succumb to the vacuum, the near vacuum. We can't even simulate the near vacuum the moon is claimed to be. I mean, but when nobody's gonna go in a fucking vacuum chamber here on Earth in a dumb spacesuit. There was one dude that tried and he almost died. His tongue started to boil or some shit. Because it's just the dumbest thing. I mean, if you see what happens to things in a vacuum chamber, dude, there's no water, okay? In a vacuum, in a near vacuum, water boils and is gone in just a moment. It's just gone. There's no water, So, and there's no air, It's just stuck that. Anything that has air or water or like anything that's porous or that has any kind of pressure involved in it, where there's like fluids and like a human body, it'll be obliterated, dude. You would never, ever want to go in a vacuum chamber. I don't care what you have on. Nobody in their right mind would ever do that. You'd have to be out of your fucking mind. Now, they do some kind of test with these Air Force pilots. I've seen that shit but they're not, the video that I've seen, it looked kind of like, it wasn't legit, dude. I don't know. There was some shit about that where I'm just like, I think they just did this just to fucking shut some of us up. But they do some sort of test where they suck all the air out of the room when they're testing these space, or not space, but like air pilot, or these Air Force, uh, suits. When they're going super fast and they're like way high altitude, and I think they're trying to do tests where they're like trying to test the suit to make sure it actually can remain pressurized. I forget what the test was that they're trying to do, but it wasn't a space suit. I thought, because that was the only the only video that anybody was ever able to produce when I've been, asking about, show me evidence that they test these spacesuits in a vacuum chamber. So, because that's what you would do if you're going to a near vacuum, one that's you can't even simulate here on Earth because it's that strong of a near vacuum. It's that there's that little of pressure where like if you know what happens in a vacuum chamber, then you wouldn't be like thinking that's a good idea to go out in a place where there's a near vacuum. And like, how exactly do you plan to propel yourself through the near vacuum without imploding or exploding? And what are you pushing off of? I mean, there's so many problems with the story. Like, you just have to suspend all disbelief, and it's like you're watching Star Wars or something. But, the things that they claim to have flown through this near vacuum at the speeds they claim to have flown while breathing pure oxygen for 6 days at a really low pressure. I mean, all the aspects of the story are just all difficult to believe, but when you put it all together, it's just impossible. Yet, there's still plenty of people that believe it. Dave McKeegan, I don't know if that guy's genuine, though. I have a bad vibe about that guy. I think he's just, singing their tune for him. It's really easy to play that role. I mean, if just be like, because all you got to do is just open the textbook and start reading out of it, or the mainstream provides you with your story, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense. You just keep reifying the fucking story. Well, that's what they did. They breathed pure oxygen for 6 days straight at a really low pressure. Because you can't breathe pure oxygen for, you could try to breathe it for like a few hours. I mean, you could kill yourself. But they breathe it at a really low pressure for 6 days, and it's okay. Pure oxygen for 6 days straight at a really low pressure. So what? So was there? What is a low pressure like? I just want to know. Like, is that similar to what we have now? It doesn't sound like it. To like what we're used to. I mean, so they had no problem breathing. I mean, I just want to know how they. I just remember reading that, and I'm just like, that seems weird to me, because when I heard they brought liquid oxygen, and that's how they were managed to bring enough air for 3 astronauts for 6 days back in the Apollo missions. They brought liquid oxygen, and they aerated it or whatever. It was like air on demand or whatever, like Acme Air Machine. You just hit the button, and air on demand. They got air to spare out there. No shortage of air. They depressurized and pressurized their suits and spacewalked and did all kinds of air wasting activities, and they had no problem. They had no problem. They had so much air. Air to spare. Way back in the early 1970s, we made one of the greatest scientific discoveries when we sent our bravest men up to the moon to find out what the moon is all about, and we were quite surprised to find the golf course in the sky. They said it must have been a golf course this whole time. They were quite amazed, so they brought their golf clubs up there. Teed off on the moon, they got in a little golf cart, rode off to the next hole, and they stuck their little flag in the ground, and they called up the president from the golf course payphone. Said, hey, Nixon, what do you think about this golf course in the sky? Ah, you fool. Who's ever been to the moon? You're a fool if you believe that. Well, it's not about your luck. No one believes that bullshit anymore. You better catch up with time. No one's ever been to the moon. You're a fool. No one's ever been to the moon. No one's ever been to the moon. No one's ever been to the moon. I don't think it's a place you can go. It's kind of like going to the rainbow. You never really arrive, 'cause it goes with you. And the funny thing about a rainbow is that the rainbow disappears after a while, and so does the moon. No one's ever been to those who wait. Good things come, good things wait, and you spent your time looking for something that wasn't good for you. Do you know a good thing when it lands on your plate? Good things come to those who wait. That loving is once you get a little, you just want some more. And once you get a little more, now you know you need a lot. Look at that loving while that loving's hot. Baby, keep that loving coming, don't you stop. Know you need a love. Baby, I got a lot of love to give. You know you need a lot of love. You know you want a lot of love. Baby, you know you want a lot of love. But do you believe in God above? Babe, I need a lot of love. Baby, need a lot of love. But do you believe in God above? Good things come to those who wait. It's hard. That's it. I think it's like from some Beethoven song, or what is that? Like Big Ben. Everybody wants to say what they need. Everybody needs to sometimes. Everybody wants to say what they mean before they die. Before they die. Oh Lord, before they're dead. Everybody wants to have a little fun. Everybody needs to sometimes. Everybody wants to have a little peace. Everybody needs to sometime. Everybody wants to be part of the feast before they die. Before they die. And everybody's gonna die. Reality check. Everybody gonna die. Everybody gonna die. Everybody gonna die. You're gonna die. Everybody gonna die. Everybody gonna die. You gonna die. Everybody gonna die. Everybody gonna die. You know why? That's what we do. Everybody gonna die. Gonna live, live, live until I die. I'm gonna live, live, live until I die. I hate, hate, and I love, love. I hate, hate, and I love, love. I'm gonna live, 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 live until I die. Everybody gonna die. Everybody, everybody, everybody gonna fucking die. You know why? That's what we do. Gonna live, live, live until I die. I hate, hate, and I love, love. I hate, hate, and I love, love. I hate, hate, and I love, love. I don't beat wives, but I wear wife beaters. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. Ooh. My favorite part of the song is ooh, 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 ooh. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. Ooh, That'd be all snotty. I don't vote. You shouldn't need a leader either. I'll leave time for you on your parking meter. I don't vote 'cause I don't need a leader. I always tell that story. It's like I was getting in my car one day and I saw the guy in front of me. He had his little girl with him, and they were getting in their car too. And she's all, "Daddy, there's a whole bunch of time left on our parking meter. You're just gonna leave all that time left? You know, there's all this time left. You're just gonna leave it?" And he kneeled down to talk to his daughter. He's all, "Honey, we'll leave it for the next person." Oh, he's all, "Time is one of the best gifts you can give somebody." I thought that was so cute. I hope that was something that she remembers, you know. I hope that sunk in. You know, like sometimes when things just kind of play out like a movie or something, I was like, man, he really delivered that well. I was the only witness, you know. I just happened to be getting in my car and I caught the whole interaction. I'm like, that was so cool. How cute. And he's right. Time is the best gift you can give somebody. Even if it's just a few minutes on your parking meter, you know. Comes in handy. But that's what I'm referring to in my song. I'm referring to that experience I had where I'm like, I just happened to catch this little interaction between a dad and his daughter, and I was like, that was so cute, and that was so well delivered, and it was so poignant, and it was just so perfect. I felt like I was watching a movie or something. There was nobody else around. I was just happening to watch it. I'm just like, that was so good. I didn't say anything to them. They didn't see me watching them. But that's why whenever I leave time for you on your parking meter, I'm referring to that experience that I had because I thought it was so cute, and I think it's true. It's the best gift you can offer somebody is time. So that's what that part of that song means. Every one of my songs that I like, that I think is a decent song, I could break it down and explain every part of it, like lyrically at least, because there's all these things going around in my mind, and a lot of times I'll just spit out a bunch of shit and I'll just keep it because I like it. But like sometimes I'll work at it, and I'll try to design hidden messages and stuff, or just put it together in such a way to where there's little clues littered throughout it. But it's fun to get on like a theme too and just start, channeling. Like, I'm Dr. Bass Ackwards. I'm the reverse psychologist. I'm running against the grain. I've been running against the grain ever since the day I came. I'll be running against the grain till my dying day. It's like the grain's running the wrong way. When you run against the grain, it causes friction and it starts to burn. And then it starts to catch on fire. And that's when this place is going up in flames at the end of the game, and I'll still be running against the grain. That's my name. That's my claim. I claim the grain is running the wrong way. I've always been Dr. Bass Ackwards. That's just who I've always been. And I don't know, I didn't put any thought into it when I named my channel. Because I used to be Cinnamon Bear. Because I was like an Owen Benjamin fan, when I first started going on YouTube. But that wore off, I wasn't still that person anymore. And I'm like, I gotta change my name. This is kind of embarrassing. And so I didn't want to be Cinnamon Bear anymore. I didn't have a channel yet. I hadn't started posting shit or anything. So I'm like, okay, well, I gotta change my name. So I just erased it, and then I'm like, I just typed in Dr. Bass Ackwards. I didn't even think about it. I just typed it in. I'd never said that before. And I was just like, okay, that's who I am. And it just sort of like I fell into that. I realized that that's who I've always been. I've always been a reverse psychologist. I've always been running against the grain my whole life. That's just what I do. Because I've always been so irritated by conformity, and it just bugged me ever since I've been a kid. I've always been like, fuck that. I'm gonna grow dreadlocks. And I'm gonna be the one guy who's like fucking not wearing, all the same name brand clothing. I'd fucking make tie-dye shirts. I was like a little hippie kid, but I was always just like considered like the weirdo or whatever. But then when I got into high school, there was other weirdos. So then I was like the cool weirdo, and that's when things got really fun. Before that, it was kind of miserable, I didn't have any friends. But high school was just a kick, man. It was so fun. And all the people that I used to like get bad vibes from before that, like it just was like this quick switch. I had a beard. Like I grew a beard between 8th grade and 9th grade. So it was like I got into high school looking a lot older than everybody else I got in there with. People thought I was like a senior. Like I've had people come up to me when I was a freshman thinking that I was like, what year are you? I'm like, I'm just brand new. I'm a freshman. I'm a newbie. But like because I looked older, I think I was just able to make more friends or something. I don't know what it was, but it was weird because I had this total like change of character where I was like this dork that nobody liked, and then I was like this cool dork. But it was like I went from being totally like inside my little shell to being fully all out of my shell, all. It was crazy. But I was also taking acid and, kind of getting out there in my head. When you first take acid, it's the most life-changing thing that you can do, really, as a young man. I mean, I took acid when I was like 14 or something, and it was like I had no idea what I was getting into. I was just trying to like fit in with my friends, and it seemed like a fun idea. I had no idea I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was fucking with. And when it kicked in, man, I just remember being like, oh my God, like reality is changing. All the foundations of your conditioned mind that you didn't really realize had been conditioned over time. You didn't realize it was happening slowly. But then that shit gets all yanked out all of a sudden, and just like all these different perspectives hit you all at once, and like it's like this weird deja vu. But like, I mean, there's hallucinations. I mean, so many things happen. Like the first trip I had was fucking balls out. It was crazy. I think it was like I think I took a four-way. It was like a window pane. It was like, it was like looked like a window pane. It was like 4 hits. I took 4 hits my first time. I mean, that's a lot. And I was gone, man. I was gone. And that's when I met the mother of my first kid that night. Taking acid there's always some weird life-changing event that happens to me. So I'm careful about when I take it now. I used to take it all willy-nilly. I would take acid all the time. I was crazy. But I couldn't do that now. I could list off so many instances where like I was on acid and then some fucking crazy shit went down. Like real world events. I mean, it's not like hallucinations. It's just things that are crazy. That just, I mean, the timing, and just the odds of something happening like that, it's just, it becomes uncanny. And like I could tell you enough, accounts that I've had over the years where it's like these are real things that happen to me, and it happens so many times where just these uncanny events would play out, and it was like I happened to be there and like be involved in it, and there's something about that drug, that chemical that you put in your body that opens up these passages in your mind and like kind of deconditions you. Like, there's no way to really explain it to somebody that hasn't experienced it, but you have no idea what you're getting into. Basically, it's what it's like. There's no way you could prep somebody for that, because I mean, you just have to tell people like basically your reality is going to start to fall apart, but like it's kind of in a fun way. It doesn't fall apart in a way that's like scary necessarily, unless you're like really an insecure person who has a lot of trauma that you haven't faced. That could get ugly, but that's why you don't want to do acid when you have a lot of trauma. I wouldn't recommend it. I think you know, there's people that can reach that same kind of headspace without having to ingest the drug. But it kind of feels like you're cheating almost, because like you reach these moments of divine like inspiration. I mean, stuff that happens to you while you're, and the stuff that comes into your mind and the stuff you think about and the way you see the world. I mean, everything changes when you get a good bell ringer, like when you really get sent. Just getting a little taste of it is just one thing. It's not like life changing, but when you really get sent and you're like elevated to this new level, I mean, there's no mistaking it. You won't be like, am I tripping or like, there's no question. So many times I've been like that with people, and we take some acid and we're like, are you feeling it? I don't know, kind of. And it's like, no. That's not it. No. You won't have to ask. When it's finally working, you won't be asking if you feel it. You'll be way past that. I remember I'd taken acid with my girlfriend in high school, and, and her best friend and her boyfriend, and and it took a long time to kick in. We went and watched a movie downtown at the movie theater, and then we went over to this girl's house, and we were hanging out, and like we weren't really feeling it. We smoked some pot, and then my girlfriend at the time, I don't know what made her say this, but she's like, you know what makes acid kick in? She's like, if you look at a piece of crumpled up foil. I'm like, what? It sounded so random and weird, but so she pulls out a piece of foil, and her girlfriend goes and gets some from the kitchen or whatever, brings it and crumples it up, and then you open it up like a sheet of foil and open it all up after it's been crumpled. And we just smoked pot, we hadn't felt the acid yet though, and we'd taken it like 2 or 3 hours ago, but we did. I was just thinking it wasn't gonna work. It was like the acid we took that night had Marvin the Martian on the stamp. I remember that I got it from my next door neighbor, but But I was like, I thought the stuff was good, but we weren't feeling it. But as soon as she did that with the piece of foil, crumpled it up and opened it up, all four of us were staring at it. She's all, you just have to look at it. So we all four of us were staring at it. We were laughing and giggling. But none of us felt the acid yet. We stared at that piece of foil for just for maybe not even a minute. And then we all looked up. We're like, oh my God. Like all this shit was happening. You see the worlds of things happening inside the crinkles of the foil. It's we stared at that piece of foil for easily a couple hours, and just could not believe what we were seeing. It was so wild. But she was right. It kicked in as soon as we started looking at the crumpled piece of foil. So weird. And it had been hours. And she was younger than me. I don't know how she knew that, but it worked like a charm. It was fucking wild. And you were seeing all this stuff happen because there was so many little crinkles, and your mind gets carried away, and it creates this movie. You're watching a movie. It's like watching a cartoon on a piece of foil. It's fucking bizarre. All of us were seeing it though. We're just like, whoa. We sat there and stared at a crumpled piece of foil for hours together and just laughed our asses off. Couldn't believe what we were seeing. I could tell that everybody else was saying shit that was just as wild as what I was, because I'd see the looks on their faces, and I'd just be like, whoa, what are we watching right now? This is insane. And it was just a piece of foil. I haven't thought about that trip in a long time, but the girlfriend I had, her girlfriend, we were at her house, and she had this big ass snake. It was like a boa or something. I don't know what it was, but a big ass snake. And they brought it out that is after we peaked. I was kind of trying to go to sleep at that point. I laid down and I was trying to sleep, but my girlfriend was like, she would fuck with me, and she was like, I heard her giggling with her girlfriend, and I was getting kind of irritated. And they got out the snake while I was trying to lay there, and they totally fucked me over big time. I had forgotten that she had a snake. I'm still tripping, and this snake is all slithering around. This is the creepiest. They got me good, man. They fucked me up hard. I was not expecting that at all. Totally sent me. I was like, you bitches are evil. What the fuck is going on? Big ass snake comes slithering, because I hadn't fallen asleep. I was just laying there and I heard them giggling about me. I didn't know they were getting out this snake. I had no idea. I'd forgotten all about the fact that she had a pet snake. And it's this big ass snake, It's come slithering around I'm like, oh my God. I thought I was losing my mind for a second, but then I remembered she had a pet snake. It kind of all came back to me. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, you bitches are evil. I just couldn't think of anything better to say. I was like, well, how are you gonna fuck with somebody on acid with a big ass snake like that? It's so weird. Just the weirdest shit, dude. It's the weirdest shit, man. Snakes are trippy. Yes. Yes, they are. All right, I better get in bed. Love you. Good to see you, Jindo. RG. Man, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I've been thinking about that. I'm gonna hook up StreamYard on my channel so I can. Is that what you need to get, StreamYard, so you can have people come on and chat? Because it would be a lot more fun. I can monologue sometimes. I could just go off and start babbling, but I'd much rather be interacting. And so yeah, I'm gonna do that. And will you come on my show though if I do that? I assume you probably will, since you said so. Yeah, dude, we do a good show, man. I think we get in some good conversations. All right, all right. It's on. I'm gonna do that, man. Thanks for putting that in my ear. All right, I love you guys.